What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 78 now of the Leeds United career mode. And in today's episode, two more games for your viewing, and also we will be wrapping up the January transfer window, trying to sign Semedo, which is one of your guys' suggestions. On top of that as well, we have a 91 rated player signing on a pre-contract. You'll have to wait and find out who that is in the later stages of the episode. But the two games today, we're taking on Chelsea and we are taking on Crystal Palace, two very tough opponents to really have in a single episode. And this episode is all going to be about a learning curve here at least, because I've said numerous times in previous episodes that, we have such a good team, we have a world-dominating team and all this other stuff in the episodes. But this episode today has really showed me that I have to sort of take a step back and, we can be beaten by certain sides. We're not invincible by any stretch of the imagination. I knew, certain teams would be able to beat us and stuff if they played the way that I, don't like. And it becomes very, very frustrating. I hate it when I come up against a team who sits back and doesn't really attempt to come out unless they're going on the counter, obviously. Like Leicester played against me like it in one of the previous games in a different season. But it really, really frustrates me. And the way to beat me, if you ever come up against me online as well, you never know, you might come up against me on online at some point. If you ever want to beat me, man, the way to do it is just frustrate me. Just frustrate me, and I get so like impatient and everything when I'm coming to play passes and stuff that it just gets so easy to score on me. And today, this episode's, like I said, going to be a learning curve. I need to sort of just really sit back, enjoy the gameplay for what it is. But this first game against Chelsea here was one of the most frustrating games I've played in this series so far. And like I said, it shows us that we are not, invincible. We can actually be beaten. If a team is good enough to play better than us on the day, there's every chance they have to beat us. So today's episode is going to be quite interesting from a viewing point of view, but for me, it's not the greatest of episodes in terms of results. This game here against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge was so tough that, I think at the end of it, I've actually dropped Leno out of the side as well. That's how bad this game goes for me. So a minute in, though, we started off brightly in this one. Anthony Martial into Eriksen, Eriksen into Emre Can, and then Can holds up the play just enough to feed back the calm in Eriksen. But again, this is what I'm talking about. I just didn't get the look that I needed for Eriksen to hit a clean strike there. Had he have done a clean strike, maybe that would have been different, and I'd have been 1-0 up inside the first minute. So poor start for Chelsea, but they then grew into the game in 11 minutes as Batshuayi held off Jan Vertonghen, took the strike on, and thankfully it went past Leno's post there. He probably had it covered, did the goalkeeper, but 28 minutes into this game, and it was all Chelsea the first half. Honestly, I could not get into the game apart from that first whistle when I had that initial chance. 28 minutes in, this happened. I tried to clear the ball, and that's me. That's just, I don't know what I could have done better there to try and clear it. That was an ex, trying to smash it up, kick it up with a lob pass. But I tend to try and play my way out of defence. But the one time I don't do that, I end up conceding a penalty here. As you can see, Zuma and Kante both on the floor. I think it was Kante actually was fouled there by me to give them the penalty, and I couldn't quite believe it. We've saved 2 penalties in this series, or in this season so far, against Manchester City and against Manchester United. Can we do a third one here against Eden Hazard? But thankfully he missed it anyway, so Leno guessed the right way, and he would have saved it had it been on target, but Hazard sent his penalty over the bar. But it didn't matter, because 34 minutes in, Eden Hazard's a type of player, he's got so much quality at his disposal, hasn't he, that even if he misses a penalty, you can guarantee he'll come back fighting. But I have to say, it was a very good run from the Belgian, but this is why I'm dropping Leno for the next game. For me, as an 88 rated goalkeeper, you cannot get beaten at your near post as easy as it is. Yes, you can say my defending is extremely poor in this situation, but just look at that. What is he attempting to do from that save? It looks as if he hasn't really read what Hazard's going to do, and for me, he should be saving that, and we shouldn't be a goal down. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, but personally, I don't believe we should be a goal down in this one through that kind of goal. I would have taken a goal from the penalty, of course, because it was a penalty, and the fact that he missed it was even better. So I guess it's, sort of the look that they deserve, having sent the penalty over the bar. But at the same time, to be beaten at your near post like that, and when you consider Begovic in the other net was absolutely phenomenal for Chelsea, it really did disappoint me. So that's the reason I'm going to be dropping Leno for the next game. And 51 minutes in, it didn't get any better for us, because Rafinha here into Batshuayi. Batshuayi, lovely little turn past the defender. And again, that for me, yes, it's a wonderful strike from Batshuayi, and it's poor defending again. But Leno really hasn't, sort of tried it, or, it just seems like he's not all in the game completely. I tried to change something around here, change the formation to a 4-3-2-1, and I actually got a few chances later on in the game to try and get back into it, but nothing really worth showing you apart from one, I do believe, or maybe 2. There was really nothing in the game for me at this point. I mean, Chelsea outplayed me completely. They deserved the 3 points on the day. And although I can be, disheartened at the fact that Leno hasn't played well, at the same time, I personally didn't play well, and Chelsea thoroughly deserved the 3 points, and that's looking like the way it's going to go. But like I said, should Leno be beaten at his near post like he was, and then should he possibly save the second strike? Maybe, who knows, but he will be getting dropped for the next game in the episode and possibly in the next few episodes, because I just don't feel as though right now he's playing at the best he can possibly play. And, that's what happens in real world football. As Remy should have made it 2-1 there in the 88th minute, and ultimately wasn't enough, as Chelsea would win the game by 2 goals to 0. So to overall look back on that result. Poor defending from me, poor gameplay from me, but ultimately as well, poor from Leno, and he will be dropped, and Lou will come into the side for the forthcoming games up in the next episode as well. So, you know, it's not bad to be able to call upon an 85 rated goalkeeper at all, is it? You know, he's a backup goalkeeper, but to be 85 rated goalkeeper, a lot of teams would love to have that as their starting keeper, and we've got it as our backup. So Lou will come into the side, hopefully do a better job than what Leno's done, and maybe, you know, the little bit of time that Leno will have out of the team will then sort of just, you know, and get him back to the form that I know he's capable of, because he's done ever so well for us since coming in from Leverkusen. It just feels as though this season, with the fact that he's got a little bit of pressure behind him, in the fact that Lou is becoming a very good goalkeeper as well, he's sort of not crumbling, but he's not playing as best as he was when he didn't have the competition there. You know, he was fantastic last season, but this season he saved, yes, 2 penalties, but at the same time, some of the goals he's conceded this season have been a bit, you know, questionable, I'll call it, let's say. Whereas Lou's come into the team, he's saved numerous shots, and yes, the goals he has conceded, or he has conceded a fair few goals, but the goals he's conceded are goals that he just simply cannot save, because it's either poor defending by me, or it's just one of those games, or goals where the keeper cannot even save it. Like, for example, the 2 against Watford, when he was in goal, were 2 headers that, again, Bailly makes a mistake and he can't save it from 4 yards when it's getting smashed at him like that. And the second one is just an absolutely wonderful header. So I don't blame him for either of those 2 goals. But that first one there for Chelsea against Leno, I completely blame Leno for. I mean, yes, I guess I'll say 50% my fault, 50% Leno's fault, because again, poor defending from me, and I should have made a tackle before then. Maybe Semedo coming in, and we'll play him at right back as well as Pereira, and we're going to alternate both of those guys as well, because obviously you guys suggested that you wanted Semedo into the club. I've made a couple of signings there on pre-contracts as well. I think Rudiger is one of the players we've signed on a pre-contract, and maybe one more, I can't quite remember. But you can see here, Semedo, the offer was accepted finally. It took me 3 offers to Benfica before they would accept it. And we offered him a £15,000 a week contract, which is extremely, extremely small for someone of 83 rated. I was expecting something like 60 or plus in terms of that one. You can see there, the contract was accepted as well. So Semedo now comes into the club, and he will be another right back for us, which means we've now got Miguel, Semedo and Pereira. So Miguel's going to go out on loan, and hopefully he'll come back as a good overall, but he's going to be ultimately pointless if we don't continue this series past. I want to go one more season after this. Even if we win the Champions League in this first season, I sort of want to go one more just to be able to use the best possible Leeds United team, and then I'll give it to you guys and see what you guys want me to do in terms of another career mode after this. But we obviously are halfway through this one, and I want to go one more after this one anyway. So you can see we made an offer there for James Rodriguez, the 91 rated cam from Real Madrid. Like I said, obviously we've got a 91 rated signing here on a pre-contract, and you guys can see £400,000 a week. He becomes the best player, or one of the best players at the club here, because Green obviously is a 91 overall as well. So we have 2 91 rated players, plus Romelu Lukaku of 90 rated coming in. Just an absolutely immense team we'll have here at Leeds next season. If we don't win the Champions League in this one, I'll be ultimately looking to do it next season as well. So you can see there, Miguel's going out on loan to Benfica, coincidentally the side that we just bought Semedo off, and it seems to be that they must have needed a replacement very quickly and decided to go in there for Miguel and get him offers on loan. So hopefully he'll get a lot of first team football over at Benfica as well, and can grow nicely for us until we get him back. But he looks as if as well Benfica needed that replacement and went for Miguel as it. And they've got a solid replacement in Miguel, I can tell you that right now. You know, he's been a good servant for us so far. He's still very young, only 19 years of age, and he's still got a lot of time to grow, and he still could come back and be the starting right back here at Leeds. But for now, we've got Pereira, we've got Semedo. We just simply don't need him in terms of quality, because we have 2 quality right backs already here at Leeds, and he won't fit into the team. So you can see the second and final game of the episode here is against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. It's going to be so frustrating because, again, this one is another game in which I just couldn't get going. And this episode is completely not good for me in terms of results. I mean, you know, I've taken some stuff out of it. I've taken positives in the fact that I've defended poorly, and I've recognised that. The fact of Leno not really playing very well, so I've brought in Lou instead of that one. But I mean, it's very, very frustrating for me as a player in FIFA when I'm trying to go forward, but they've got 11 men behind the ball. It's so annoying, or 10 men behind the ball in that case, and they go for that one. Leicester did it last season. They actually beat me 2-0, and it was the most frustrating game I've ever played, because they did it last season to me. They sent Jamie Vardy and Ahmed Musa as the front 2, and basically kept those guys all the way up the top, and then had all the rest of the players behind the ball and played long balls constantly. And yes, I shouldn't have been beaten by it. It's a very simple tactic, but I was. And it's ultimately very frustrating when it happens. And I'm hoping that I can sort of get to the point where that won't cause me any danger, because if it does, I'll be ultimately extremely disappointed in myself. You can see here, that's the Palace team. It's a very, very strong one as well. They've obviously got Liam Bridcup, formerly of Leeds, over there, as he was, of course, a Leeds United player up until a few seasons ago before we get rid of him. And you can see as well, Alan Pardew's men doing extremely well for themselves. And this is our team, though. Lou comes into the side, like I said. Leno dropped for this game. Martial starts with Emre Moore up front, pretty much the first 2 strikers on the team sheet. 20 minutes in, though, Crystal Palace had the opening chance of the game. A defence cutting through ball into Townsend. Townsend with the strike. A very, very, well, easy save for Lou, in all honesty. It was straight at him, but Again, that's completely poor defending from me. I cannot be getting cut up by one through ball and then letting him in like that. It's so easy for them. Martial here. We got our first chance here in the stroke. Well, I think it was like the later stages of the first half. Ericsson with the strike. A very good save from the Palace goalkeeper. Yeah, it was 45th minute. And Zoet makes a very strong save. And that was all the game had in store. It was an extremely boring game. This is what I'm talking about. Again, I just could not get going. The passes weren't going my way. I couldn't really find the runs of the players that I needed to find. You can see we had actually 7 shots, 5 of them on target. But 4 of them were blocked, and that was just incredible. 4 of them were blocked in the box, and I just could not get going. And Palace really had 1 shot in the entire game, and that was the only one you saw from Townsend. So a very disappointing episode in terms of results, but obviously a very good episode in terms of signings. We got Semedo, we got Rudiger, we got, what's his name, James Rodriguez. And then obviously we've got Lukaku coming in, what was signed in the last episode. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode of Career Mode. If you have, smash that like button. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I upload at 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock UK time every single day. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you all for the next episode very soon. Adios.